So this is a worked example on how to solve a rational equation. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to make sure we're comparing this thing to 0, because that's how we know how to find the zeros in a rational equation. So in our case, we have it being equal to 3, but we can simply subtract that 3 off, and now we have it compared to 0. But of course, we want this under an entire fraction if we actually want to be able to do something with this. So I'm going to turn the 3 into a denominator I can work with. And the way I'll do that is I'll multiply the 3 by something that equals 1, and that will be the denominator I want over itself. So that quantity I just wrote down, that is just simply equal to 1. And so from here, I can distribute the 3 out. So let's move over here. I can now put the 3 up top. Then I can distribute that 3 out. So I'll get 15x plus 12, right? Yeah. And then get 5x plus 4. And now, lastly, we can go through and actually combine the denominators all into 1. Yeah, it looks like a straight enough line. 5x plus 4. And then this will become x minus, and then in parentheses, our quantity. It's really important to remember those parentheses because it can be very easy to just try and tack on a minus sign, and then you can kind of forget what's going on. And then it'll be x minus 15x minus 12. And then, of course, x minus 15x will be negative 14x. 5x plus 4. So, okay. So here's our simplified version of the function that I can set equal to 0. So if you need a chance to pause and look at all of the work that I did, you can go ahead and do that now. It kind of travels in this direction and then goes up here and then goes back down here. Or you can pause and rewatch if you'd like, but I'm going to erase all this scratch work and simply go off of this equation, right? So we've established that these two equations are equivalent, and so we'll solve the bottom one because that's what we know how to work with. So I have a rational function equaling 0, so I'm essentially asking, well, what are the zeros of this rational function? And hopefully we know how to find zeros. That's going to be by taking the numerator and setting it equal to 0. And so if we do this, you'll see that we're going to be adding over a 12 and then dividing by negative 14. And so we get 12 over 14, but we can simplify this fraction because both are divisible by 2. And I would get that x is equal to negative 6 over 7. And then that is actually a final answer because all we were looking for is the 0 of the rational function. It's pretty straightforward. Don't need to go searching for asymptotes or anything like that, no graphing. We're just isolating it into a form we can work with, and then we are asking ourselves, well, what are the zeros? And then we are working it out.